Welcome to SithTalk, brought to you by Gattacara and Lanyard, bringing you news from Star Wars The Old Republic and beyond. Join us now as we explore the universe and take down the Republic in a galaxy not so far away. Hey, and welcome to another week of SithTalk. It's an exciting week for us here at SithTalk because not only are we going to be finally getting our episode in just before the fantastic 1.5 free-to-play slash HK51 slash Cartel coin slash expansion sort of here this week. Now, we did get some news from our buddy Brutus. We want to let you guys know at the top of the show. Brutus is doing fine. Actually had some family that was involved in the superstorm there, Sandy, and was worried about that. Also had some extracurriculars that he was taking care of, class credits and so on. So we're glad to hear that he's safe, his family's safe, and everything's going well for him. So he'll be joining us again soon, just not this week. Pseudo, luckily forgot, or unluckily, depending on your outlook, forgot to charge her Nook, so unfortunately that is not going to be part of our program either. But it's okay. We've got stories, we've got news, and we've got comments. I do want to make sure and start off with one of our sponsors. That's audibletrial.com/SithTalk. Hey guys, this week announced the newest release of a Star Wars The Old Republic book 4, Annihilation, which so far, from this little bit I've gotten to listen to, it actually sounds like a really good book, and will definitely captivate you, much as the Revan series has. Once again, written by Drew Karpyshyn. I'm not pronouncing that right. Narrated by Mark Thompson. So another great book for you guys to try out. Remember, you get one free month, one free book, and then if you decide to chip in the $15 to $25 a month based on your listening enjoyment, you can always be able to check that out. As a slight side note to that sponsor, we have picked up 2 additional sponsors to the show. Groupon has gratefully sponsored us, and you can check out their link on our Podomatic site, as well as, I want to say it was VTech was the other one I picked up recently. It is Christmas time. It is nearing Christmas time. You want to make sure to get all those great gifts for your kids and your family members, and VTech is a great supplier of young adult toys and other electronics. So moving forward a little bit, I did see a lot of feedback on YouTube, and I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. Falling Fob says that he says he keeps he's loving the videos. He's actually going to re-roll a power tech on our server named Xenon. I've actually added him to friends on a few of my Imperial side characters. So happy to have him in the guild or as a friend, whichever he chooses. We also had one from Ping Pong Tong Ting, which sounds like something that my nephew would say. He's excited to see that we can dual wield the axes through the Cartel market, which is really nice. I did say one of the things that I think they could have done to up their game on that is, you can put color crystals in everything, as far as your shield, your focus item, or your weapons. But if you use something like a vibro sword, which are very popular because they're really huge and kind of, I guess you could say steampunkish, or Tokyo Pop like, if they could put in a command line so that lightning that's on the side of the vibro swords would actually light up the color of the color crystals, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Or in the event of something like what we had with enchantments on WoW, if the axes could actually have a sheen to their blade that was reminiscent of the crystal that they were using, that would definitely pump up the game there.
Mm-hmm.
We did have a question from Joshua Kolker on our YouTube stream. He wanted to know if the credits you're getting on your account were either right there. It just for each character, that's how much you would get, if it would be account wide. And as most people have learned by now, it's whatever you're getting is account wide. So spend them very, very frugally. So far, I haven't been able to utilize an ability to mail them between my characters so that any bonus items I get that I don't need on one, I could send to the other. So either be very careful with how you spend them, or be very intelligent on what you decide to buy and on who. For most people that are using accounts that are active like mine, more than likely things that we buy will be account wide, beckoning us to spend even more money that we don't have into the game, much as those who are going to be able to play free to play are going to be able to. Let's see. The other thing was there was a gentleman asking me, hey, are you guys thinking about, live streaming? And we are. We have, and we've tried several times to get a live stream out. There's a couple of programs I'll be playing with over the course of the next 2 weeks that may allow us to live stream at a frame rate and with as minimal lag as possible. If that is the case, then we may live stream, because that way we don't have to do much in the way of editing. We just pop it in, do the live stream, talk to you guys while we're doing the show, and just boom, it's up on YouTube. And that would simplify things for both me and Lanyard considerably. Um, we are thinking about, we do a lot of PvP on our server, and Veiling Fob says, hey man, love the videos, wondering what server you guys are on. And he had said he's going to re-roll imps. He's really interested in server PvP. We have there's a good bit of server PvP going on our servers. World PvP, not so much. I think with free to play, we'll see the subscribers going in and pwning some free to players a little bit more frequently on some of the lower end planets. That will remain to be seen, but it is a possibility. We do a lot of in-game PvP as far as doing hut ball, all-around war, both on the Imperial and the Republic side. Now, of course, me and Safara, as of late, Safara's got a little bit of character ADD. He got his newest 50, and he wants to get it geared. Unfortunately, his buddies Scoot and him are keep trying to figure out what they want to roll or re-roll in that case. As far as our downloads, man, we're right on target with with most of the other weeks. We're looking at 500 to 600 this week, which is really good. Been watching a lot of where our stream is and how many views we're getting, and I'm seeing the videos picking up, and I want to thank everyone out there watching for that. I put one of our most recent PTS videos and / episode is almost up to 300 views. Our last one is around 100. We're nearing 2,000 on what I can only dub as one of my first PTS videos. So, it's great to see so many people out there checking out the videos. I know it helps that, this is a popular situation right now. We want to see what's coming out in free to play. We want to see what's coming out in the Cartel. And the wait will be over as of the 15th, unless Jovith has a sick day. But it's great to see the support from our fans out there. I would like to ask BioWare if they ever tune into my show to stop flagging my YouTube videos. I'm promoting your product. Thank you. Moving on a little bit, I know Lanyard said he had quite a bit of time in, not quite a bit. It sounds like he had a decent amount of time in the game this week, and we want to be able to give him time to speak his piece. All right, Lanyard, what'd you do, man? What'd you do?
Well, I ran with Squeeza again. I logged in on a couple days ago and actually got to run Kraga's Palace and Eternity Vault. Got a couple pieces of gear. I got the car from
Oh,
Karaga. Yeah, not the Corvette, but the old boxy one. The
yeah,
what is it called? The
the minivan.
yeah, yeah, the two-seater that seats one. Um, but I got that one for Suiza, and then I jumped on Zuzu and actually got to run Karaga's Palace with Zuzu as well. So, and she got some gear, which was good. So it bumped up some stuff. Didn't get a lot more than that as far as playtime. I tried to get into some hard modes or some things like that, but it just just didn't happen. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I was gonna run a Tomb Nun to do some PvP, but I got sidetracked in the new World of Warplanes beta, closed beta, and got just enthralled in that. So I've been working on that as well. So doing a little bit of everything, and a couple of the other games that I play as well. So that's pretty much it. I'm probably, depending on how long the show runs, I'll probably log on tonight and do some PvP. But that's about it, man.
Oh wow! As far as PvP go, you going to get on Squeezer or one of your low end
I think I'll do.
characters?
Yeah, I think I'll do. See if I can get on a tomb. Suiza, I love Suiza. She's awesome. As a trooper. I mean, I've got Ricotta and Black Hole gear mix now. I still haven't gotten the uh, implants and the earpiece. Oh no, the implants upgraded yet. Those are still blues, level 50 blues. I haven't found any decent implants for her yet. I'm guessing I could probably get some ricotta ones. I don't remember if they have daily ones or not, or I mean some black hole ones. And then I have uh, I still have the PvP relics, so those
Hmm.
those should probably be updated as well. But that's about it. I mean, everything else is all 50 level 56 or higher. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then of course all my characters are getting all my companions are getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Zuzu needs some work, but no, I think I'm gonna run on a tomb and see and get back in there and do some low level PvP. He's like 30-ish. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, we've got a fair amount of stuff that's coming as far as um, the games, and I'm really interested to see in what all comes. I mean, like I said, I actually re-rolled Danikar. I had gotten him to, I think, like level 5 or something retarded, and I got bored because I didn't really have anybody to play with. As I stated, I played with Scoot and Safara for a little bit this week and was interested. I actually re-rolled my first Zabrak. I don't like the red face Zabraks. I actually like the Republic side.
Mm.
Zabrak, so I made a fat Zabrak Consular who's going to be a rock flinger. And someone said to me the other day, "Oh my God, a third, another Consular." And well, I do have two Consulars, and by technicality, I do have two sorcerers because I like being able to DPS, but I also like being able to heal.
Mm.
It's the duality of my character. And as Safara found out, I more or less hate melee in any game, which seems counterbalanced because I feel I am a person who likes to get into the fight and really enjoy it, but I also kind of want to have a little distance on my targets. Playing a hunter for 7 years on World of Warcraft, and then at one point making my mage, who was terribly overpowered at a distance, made me really happy to be well ranged.
Ranged, yeah.
You could because I mean you can see the fight, you can enjoy it, but you can also get in some good hits. It may not be the super fast damage that maybe a Marauder or some of the Marauder or Sentinel or I guess what's the Assassin specs
Hmm.
or Shadow in the event of the Republic side. But it gives me the availability to see and enjoy the game, but also be able to put in some pretty hard hits. And I've got to admit, I've joked about this before, and I've talked about how well I go through and I make all the gear so that when my character hits 50, they have some really righteous starter gear. Well, I went and I once again pulled a World of Warcraft. I twinketized my level 13.
Mm.
He is in almost all purple gear. I've got two more pieces for him when he hits 15, which should be either tomorrow or the night thereafter. Because I had to do
Didn't
it.
you say you augmented it too?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, I completely purpled and then augmented all of his gear. I'm setting up the augments for when I get my level 20 PvP gear.
Nice.
And I may do some of my armorings as well. I haven't decided just yet, but it. I know it doesn't sound like it would be much of a difference, but when they talk about the augmentation of your abilities in PvP specifically, um, you see a difference because they adjust your primary stats to where they will be at 49. And these, while not a gigantic leap, are a nice little way to set yourself apart and be able to survive or to cause a little bit more havoc than they're used to.
Mm,
I actually got left on a node because I had enough survivability. I could take on 4 guys in Novara Coast. One
nice.
guy inspected me and went, "Well, fuck it, leave this guy here. He's twinked."
Nice.
And I've got all the base level augments, and I've got almost all purple gear. Like I say, I'm working on getting him a purple artifice weapon and a purple artifice or a purple or artifice quality focus item, so that he has all purples all the way around. The only problem I'm going to have is until I get to a certain level in Dark Side, I won't be able to buy the Dark Side relics,
Right.
which will really help me take things up. And I think that's like level 25 anyway, so it's not a big problem.
Yeah.
Um, but I got on Naga and had a little fun. I was doing some PvP on her today. I actually had a couple of matches not so great, and then I had a couple of matches that were kind of ridiculous. Hour or so ago, when I was before we started recording, I actually went in and got into an Alderaan war that started completely lopsided. It seemed like our team had no focus. We weren't going to win because they capped snow and grass right away,
Mm,
and then we get mid. Well, then we go to cap grass, and while we're capping grass, they ran back and capped mid. So at one point, it looked like it was all over for us.
hmm
And then we're talking maybe 4 minutes into the match. They've got all 3 nodes. We've got Dick. Well, we ended up fighting them off of grass, fighting them back at mid, or fighting them off at grass, fighting them back at snow, and they were so disoriented we got mid, and it stayed that way for another couple of minutes
Wow.
until we eventually got to where we were just grass and snow, and we ended up owning it. It was hilarious. And we had a good combination of healers and high DPS output, so that was really enjoyable. And that was level 50. I've only got 2 pieces of war heroes so far. So it was really enjoyable to find out that, at 50, I can actually get back into my Sork. And depending on the match, there were some points where, my Sork got stuck between 2 Marauders or 2 Shadows, and I got banged out pretty fast.
hmm
But outside of that, it was very much like we talked last week. It was about keeping my distance from the fight and making sure I got heals in when necessary, and that really did change the tide. It was like that in the Hut Ball match I was in earlier today, and it was like that in Alderaan War. So I think I've proven to myself that we're right. You have to be able to play your class and know where your person should be on the board before you go jumping into the shit.
Absolutely.
Um, me and Safara were on our level 50 Republics the other day. Got to run a hard mode False Emperor, and this brings me to my LFG loser
No, that's right.
Renew.
I did do a hard mode for Emperor. That's right.
Renew is Renuu. Renew is a firmly aggravated a person on the Party of the Five Republic side. We ran with him, and he apparently thought he was so geared that he could DPS and heal. And that led to a few faux pas, as
Mm.
in me almost fucking dying repeatedly. Um, and I would mark a character, and he was the only one. He was one of 2 people with CC, and I would mark someone, with lightsaber, and I do it based on class,
hmm
so that if I have a trooper or a bounty hunter, I'll mark it with a blaster. If I have an operative or a smuggler, I put the target symbol,
hmm
and it flows down the line from there. And what I was marking the characters for force lift, or whatever the Republic form of that is. And I said, please mark CC. I said at the very beginning of the run. So we're going through, and I get to the bridge, which is which is the first boss in False Emperor,
Okay.
and he does that massive knockback. Well, I was kind of dicking off with the computer, my second screen, and lighting a cigarette, and didn't notice that I had gotten pushed at the wrong angle, so that I wasn't inside the 2 barriers. I was actually just off to the side of it and got knocked off.
Mm.
Well, of course, this guy's flipping out. Have you ever fucking tanked before? Do you even know how to tank? And I'm not as geared on Nolani as I am on Rakat.
Right.
So I'm almost full Kalumi and Rakata on Nolani, whereas Rakat's, Black Hole and Rakata.
hmm
And I'm like, yeah, I try to just tank, story modes. But yeah, I've tanked several of these hard modes. Don't worry about it. And the guy just kept going. Well, me, I tried to, be the bigger guy because Safar's like, fuck it, let's kick him, fuck him, fuck him. I'm like, nah, dude, we're in LFG. It's the middle of the night. I really don't
Yeah,
want to fuck around
right.
with it. We'll just ask that he heals and keep on moving. And we get going, and apparently he doesn't know anything about CC or how aggro works because he's dropping down AoE heals. He's not, taking the time to CC the targets I ask him to. And we have several near misses. One time where he got barreled down, I blew all my cooldowns, and we were able to finish the fight. On trash mobs, mind you, not anything big. It was just trash mobs.
Right.
And I'm just going, hey, CC this gold so we can focus on this group over here. And every time I tried to say something, I'm immediately wrong. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just a scrub. I'm probably not even a tank spec for tanking. I'm probably not in tanking gear. So, of course I got pissed off. And I'm like, you know what? It's cool. Just ignore.
Yeah.
I don't have to see anything else he says. I can go about my business as long as my health bar stays up. I'm happy.
Yep.
And so Safara just kept going, man. And I have no clue what the exchange was firmly because I seen Safara's words and I didn't see the other guys. So at one point he's like, "Oh, dude, he says he's gonna fucking leave." I said, whatever. We'll requeue. No big deal. And he left right before the HK-47 fight in there. And I pulled out my comp. Okay. My comp is mostly T&Es.
Yeah.
She's not super geared like some of my other companions. But my comp was actually doing comparative heals in replacement for this
Right.
or this other dude who's just bitching up a storm. We took down HK-47 and then went on to take down the other champion boss, mini boss in between, and then we went to take down Malgus, all with my companion.
And that's why you always gear out your companions when you can. In case you got to replace a piece of shit tank or a piece of shit healer or a piece of shit DPS, you can say, fuck it, let's just kick him and pull out my comp.
Now the other side note to that is when we did Malgus, it was funny because one of the biggest problems we have with Malgus is he used to have a knockback. I never saw this in the notes.
Yeah, he did. I noticed he didn't have a knockback this last time.
You no longer have to knock him off. You just have to kill him.
Yeah.
Interrupt ultimate power and still kill him.
Yeah.
It was fucked up. I wasn't used to that.
Yeah,
but what we ended up doing is because I couldn't keep calling my comp out if I died, we just kept rolling deaths. As long as we stayed with him aggroed, his health never reset.
You get popped right back, right there at the door. Yep. That's we did the same thing. The tank comes in and goes, "Hey, do you know about the Malgus bug?" And I'm like, "Malgus bug?" He goes, "Yeah. If you start it up and you don't attack, and you go running all the way back down the ramp to where the door is, and then you go either right or left, there's that big, huge valley that you normally knock him into. If the tank stays on this one side where Malgus is, on the ramp in between, and the rest of the group goes over to the far side, when he goes to jump, because he leaps at, how he leaps at the other players, when he goes to leap, he'll fall to his death." Okay. I was like, I never thought of that, but okay. I said, "Are you sure they didn't fix it?" "Oh yeah, we just did it last week." I was like, okay. So we went out and nobody attacked. We just let him, just kept healing the tank, and Malgus is just beating the shit out of him. And the first time he comes to attack one of the DPS, what does he do? Walks down the ramp, over the stairs, walks right over to us. I'm like, I think he figured it out because he's not jumping. He never leaped. Once we got, and we said, okay, fuck it. Now we went on like this for like 5 minutes. We never attacked him. And so we said, okay, screw it. Let's do it the old way. So we went back out to the middle of the ramp. As soon as we went back to the middle of the ramp, he was leaping all over the place. But he knew about that hole. So then he raged, right? Because we took too long to get started. He raged, and we still got him. And we did the same thing you did. We die, pop back up, run back in, attack, die, pop up. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, the other dude that was in the group, I want to say his name was Waffles something or other.
Nice.
And the guy was decent. I mean, he did have a little bit of a problem with pulling aggro off of me, and from what Safaro was seeing, it looked like he was doing it by accident, like it was something in his rotation that he didn't realize was pulling aggro.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a pain in the ass to keep aggro up, but it was just a really fun fight, and it was a really nice way to give the middle finger to some cheeky bastard who thought he was the shit. And the best part is, and I am,
DB.
I would say I'm a fairly interesting troll. I enjoy trolling, but like I said, I played the bigger man. Well, I was on Datacar, and
Yeah, but
it's funny
you
because
don't troll just to troll.
no, not
You
always.
don't pay $15 a month so you can sit and chat and fucking give people a hard time.
No, that I do not. But it was funny because I was going through and I was like, oh, we'll just, we'll let it slide, whatever. It doesn't really matter, whatever. Um, and what we found was that I was on him, and sure enough, this guy was in general chat on the Republic side looking for Nolani and Vorsk, which is Safara's other character on that side, and it was just so funny to see him, trying. Does anybody know where Nolani or this other one is? Like he didn't apparently get our guild name down, because they were just, he was just looking for us, and I thought it was so hilarious. And I guess, and I don't know if Safara told me he did, but I don't know for sure.
Uh-huh.
But Safari told me that he reported the guy for harassment.
Good. Good. I think some of those trolls need to be. I mean, some of them you just ignore and just, they just.
I don't. Well,
But
I don't
some
know
of
if the
them,
guy was
if there was a
technically a
guy like
troll.
that, then yeah, absolutely. You know what? You've gone beyond reasonable. Report him. I had to do that. I had to do that. Me and another guy, we were playing again. We were doing the World of Warplanes. It's fucking closed beta, right? So you have to get an invite to play this stupid game, right? Now, granted, it is handed out quite a few, but still, there were people that were in there just trolling. I mean, they're in the battle and they're flying their little plane and they're just being obnoxiously stupid. And I just said, fuck it. And one of the guys like, screw it, let's report him. I mean, this is the best time. This is when they're listening. So
Yeah.
we went in there and I got an email yesterday, said, thank you very much. We took care of the situation. He's no longer has he no longer has access to the beta. It's like, good, because he's just, it's just,
Oh man.
it's one thing to do it in the real game, but when it's fucking anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
should report them if they get to the point where they're stupid. There was a guy the guy the other day I was on SWOTOR. The guy's name was Krusty Vagina. I mean, and he was a level 40. How do you get past that far? So I was like, no, I'm not. That's disgusting. I mean, there's one thing to have the tongue in cheek, haha, kind of cute, but this was KRUSTYVAGINA. Just what the fuck? So I sent him in. I'm like, that's
oh
disgusting.
my god.
Anyway.
Oh, but I mean, we had a lot of fun, and I was bouncing around on characters as I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Twingatizing Dedekar was definitely cool as shit for me. Um, being able to get some stuff done on Nolani. Of course, while I'm doing that, I'm also jumping back and forth on Hot Chocolate to upgrade the earpieces that he can make, and then checking on my other character to see when he can when Gazini can actually start making the implants,
Mm-hmm.
so that he can have purple implants too.
Nice. When are we gonna get
But
another episode of Hot Chocolate, man? I'm you
I,
know what? I think next week I'm gonna start pulling them from the original episodes and start throwing them in.
well, it would be. I see. The only problem I had with that is the voice I used was a combination of me using a voice and then augmenting it on
Right.
in the editing process. And I saved the process, but I could never get my voice to the exact same pitch,
Uh,
which was pissing me off
uh,
because it
yeah.
started out very dark, very deep voiced, and almost
Yeah.
Barry White
Yeah.
sounding, and then I would speed it up to the point that it
Before you know
was
you were
almost Cat
yeah,
Williams.
or Chris Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted something near Cat Williams, or more of a flamboyant sounding voice,
Yeah.
because the one I was always talking around was like,
Yeah.
and and when I changed it, and if everybody goes, to where to check the old episodes, they hear it how drastically different that voice was. and then I would find myself trying to write it, and what happened was I wanted to do a 2 minute segment.
Yeah.
Well, I would write it out,
And it'd
record it,
be
and it'd
30
be two
seconds.
minutes,
Yeah.
and then I changed the speed at which it recorded, and then it'd be down to like a minute and a half,
Yeah.
minute. I'm going, oh shit, this isn't going to be the filler I need. You know, I need enough to run to take a piss and back.
Right.
Um, but
Uh,
I did. Was it? I'm trying to remember what else I did because I was going to get on the PTS, but then I changed my mind definitely because right when I thought they had come to their senses and given me my paid to play for program, they changed it back to PTS being FTP,
mm,
which completely screwed my mind.
going
I
back
couldn't
and
deal
forth
with
and
that.
back and forth and back and forth.
Um, but I didn't get to run. I don't think I ran a single op this week, which made me mad.
Mm,
Did do a lot of flashpoints, a ton of PvP.
hmm
And I will tell you, being a Sork or for that matter, a Sage without sprint sucks. I mean, you have, run speed, but the inability to just blitz and just,
Yeah.
oh, that sucks so bad.
hmm
Oh my God, I wanted to kill somebody
Well,
because I
that
kept,
we're in PvP. That would be the perfect time to do it.
well, I was flinging rocks and shit, but I'm just happy going balance. It looks like I'll get an AoE long before I ever get Force Quake, which is the channeled AoE.
Right. Oh, I love
So
that one. That's like oh no. Different type of AoE. Never mind. Different battle. Different
yeah.
different attack altogether.
But the Force Quake when I get that, I think it's somewhere near 40 or so, or 36 or something like that. I think somebody
You know
said.
the one that the counselors get is that awesome that force wave that is
Yeah.
that I mean that just eats shit up. Just stun them and then just it fucking rips them up. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
But it's a lot of fun, and I've actually with the combination of the Zabrak and the twinkatizing that character, it makes it a chance that one will get to 50. And I think that's my only big problem is I found two classes or two base classes I really like.
Hmm
I love my bounty hunters.
hmm
I love my inquisitors, the sages, and the Republic troopers.
Right.
Still having issues getting into a firm groove with my operatives slash smugglers and my juggernaut, which is my warriors or the warrior classes or Jedi Knight classes. I don't, for some odd reason, I can't get into those. And the Jedi Knight class is pretty easy to figure out. It's probably because they're melee.
hmm
Um, the smuggler for me, it's the cover dynamic that kind of messes that one up for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen him there to like beastly damage, but I'll get on the hot chocolate and he's a healer, so I'll heal for a little bit and I'll be like, all right, this is boring. And I still don't think I've gotten him past 30, which is my big push. I'm trying to get him to
Yeah.
30, but I just cannot get motivated to do it.
That's about as far as I usually got my smugglers to, is about 30. I mean, I really enjoy the storyline. It was really cool, and the take cover mechanic didn't bother me so much. It was the fact that they just died so easily. They got any melee, and they was like playing a hunter on WoW. I mean, you got anybody in your face and you're dead. So
Yeah. And I mean, there are, and it's weird because being an operative, being a healer in general on those two characters is fun. But with a lack of AOE currently, and I know, level up and you'll get your AOE smartass. But I see some of the spells that I have, and it just doesn't feel as like it's much fun as it does healing when I'm leveling my sage or
yeah,
healing when I was leveling my sork. So it's just not that much fun. And with the stealth, he's supposed to be a more poke you in the ass type if I went DPS, which lends itself to PvP, but not so much to PvE. And I don't want to just PvP those two characters all the way up.
mm,
PvP is something I'll do in conjunction with PvE, but I'm running ops. I
yeah.
mean, I'm running flashpoints. I'm just doing PvP. I have not left the ship yet on hot chocolate more than the time it took. No, I don't. I still have one comp on him, so I haven't left
Oh
the
yeah,
fleet at all.
yeah.
Which may be my problem.
I did
Maybe
that
I need.
with Zuzu for quite a long time, but after a while, it was just like this is because especially when LFG popped, and it was
Mhm.
just taking forever to get into those low level. It was like I had to go do something, or I'm not going to ever level. So, I,
Well, and I'm hoping that the adjunct of free to play this week will actually embolden me to do
Wait, free
so.
to play is coming this week?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
That will be in the news. They've jumped the shark. They've decided to not
Jump the
listen to the
shark.
wise and mighty Datacar. They're going for an early release, which makes me sad. But we'll go ahead and skate into that now that I'm meandering with my stories.
Here's your galactic news. Look what you missed while you were sleeping.
All right, so as we said, we got
I forgot
the
that I
good
had
old
that.
fashioned.
I forgot that I didn't put the original news reel in.
Oh wow.
Koalas and seagulls, man. It's
Oh no, I'm scared.
not like they
Ah.
were mating.
But everybody's biggest interest, and it has been for several weeks now, the overwhelming patch 1.5. Um, Patch 1.5 not only brings us a new nightmare mode for Denova, or for explosive conflict or Denova, depending on how you want to look at it. It also brings us the fantastical, possibly cartel market, the long-awaited need for free to play for the apparent a million or so surveyors who said, I just didn't want to pay.
Billions and
Um,
billions of people will come back because they're gone to free to play.
and it looked interesting as you've seen in our videos. There's some really interesting items coming in the black market cartel boxes. There's some great items that are going to be able to be purchasable, some items that are just random. I hope that some of the really wanted items, like the monkey lizards, um, you know, some of the other pets are going to be something that actually get into the game via just straight purchase, not just through the cartel box. And what they can do to assuage people to do that, I think, is to raise the price of like the mounts, put them in there, raise the price of the mounts, or use the seemingly cheap way of doing it with the cartel boxes and just buying a ton of boxes. Do you take a chance, roll 4 or 5 boxes to get the item that you want, or do you want to spend thrice as much and just get the item right away? Um, that I think would be better for those of us who are paying to play to begin with. We want to get some. We want it right away. We don't want to sit there and ooh mystery box, ooh mystery box, ooh mystery box, ooh mystery box, ooh mystery box.
I'm out of
You know,
cartel coins. I've gotten 4 chairs.
and that was something that I hope they would address. And I never saw anything in the tickets that I left about that. I was asking that they have a new way to sell the items, but they're as of yet they've not posted a firm uh, patch note. But we'll give you guys some of the highlights from what we've got incoming, so to speak. The highlights obviously are being able to travel to Section X on Belsavis and learn the nefarious Dreadguard has seized control of the ravaged sector of this planet. Section X can be accessed through the Belsavis on Belsavis and via the daily mission shuttles. That meaning for those of us who are still paying or sub to the game, we'll be able to travel there just like we do every other section, every other daily hub. So no, ooh, we're on Belsavis. Is this again, guys? Type of deal.
We
It's
just go
just
straight to it.
go and do it right.
Nice.
And of course, as part of the Section X dailies, there is a storyline wrapped in there that allows us to start unraveling the story and our ability to get HK 51, the most insanely infamous assassin droid in all of the universe. Um,
And will be just as weak as your ship droid, but he can carry a
now,
gun.
Now, the plus side, and we'll remind you guys as we did last episode, is with HK 51, if you'd go and unlock him on your 50, you then have the availability either through cartel coins or through in game credits to unlock him on your legacy related characters. So, those of you who are thinking about re-rolling, or you want to show basically that you have the 50 truly, you have a true legacy. Your 50's already unlocked this character, and you've got more money to throw around than God, and want your low level alts to have HK51, now you can do that. You'll be able to do that as well, which is to me really cool. There's something that's really awesome about being able to flaunt how much time you've been in the game, how long you've played, what work you've put forward. And I think being able to put that legacy character, HK51, into the fray really will kind of unify your characters and keep you from having the monotony of, oh man, I gotta do this quest on every one of my 50s
Be kind of
just to get the droid.
It'd be kind of nice to be able to, when you do an inspect,
Yeah.
to see when the character was created. That would be kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't give you it. I mean, it doesn't really give you how much time they've put into the character,
Mhm.
but it does kind of give you. It would kind of be kind of cool to say, oh, click on this guy, inspect. Oh, well, shit, his character's been around for a year now. That's cool.
Well, and they could set it up so that
Could
people
work with
have an
legacy.
RP. They also that they have kind of an RP aspect to it. They could perceivably
Give a
take it.
birth date and everything else.
I wouldn't say birth date, but you could do a recruited date, like
Ah,
they join the Republic or they join the Imperial Guard on this
this
date.
date. Yeah, yeah, that would be cool.
And it's not something that would be hard to backlog because they
No,
keep
they
track
keep
on
track
how
of that
long their
anyway.
characters play.
Yeah,
So,
they keep track of that anyway. That way, all you have to do
um,
is hit such and such played, and it'll tell you. But yeah,
but the new Nightmare Mode Operation Explosive Conflict bosses in Nightmare Mode present a new level of challenge, new mechanics, high quality rewards such as new vehicles and Dreadgar gear set.
new vehicle.
Um, So those of you who are hardcore raiders and did not get into the PTS, right on the 15th, get your videos recorded. Go do your nightmare modes. Enjoy that. Post it up. Let us know how you did, what you got done, and give us soft siders as far as rating or operations go. The strat so we can do it easily.
Did you
Um,
say soft ciders?
we're not
Soft
hardcore, so
ciders.
doesn't that make us soft siders?
Oh well, let's see. Hardcore, soft exterior, soft
Mm,
mantle,
sure,
soft
I'll go with
mantle.
that. Got me thinking about that shit. Stop it. My
Stop!
brain hurts.
Ow! Ow! Science.
Um, but then we also have a new world boss coming, and of course, it'll be found roaming around Section X to attack the people who didn't realize they should read the patch notes.
Awesome.
Um,
Maybe it'll be a
so
big
that
dinosaur and it'll stomp on you.
now the one thing I didn't do, and it's because I don't have a 50 on the PTS, is I didn't do the Republic side of this particular set of dailies. So I'm wondering if it will be as the if
Same
they've learned
zone or
at
something?
all. See, when we got
Yeah.
Ilum, we had there's two quests that cause us to trade
Right.
spots where we cross paths. On Belsavis, you pretty much can't find a Republic character anywhere near you. So on that particular planet, you've got no worry for gankage.
And black
And then
holes, they
we
just
go
get
to Black
close. They
Hole.
get close.
They got really close, and we join each other about the point where we're attacking the Tower of Torvax.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because it's the
and the,
same building
right, and I mean we're literally just
around the corner.
a line or a turn from each other's questing zone. I'm wondering if this is going to pull us even closer,
God, I hope.
so that
Man, getting dailies done is a bitch when you got a ganker.
well, it is,
I don't do
but
dailies because of that anymore.
I don't do dailies because I don't have to.
I got
Yeah,
millions and millions.
I don't have millions. I do consistently carry about 650K on each one of my 50s now,
It's
but
nice. I'm
it's
about 65
yeah.
credits.
But
That's like
hope
just
you don't.
just enough to get repaired, and I
Uh, but it will be interesting to see if they did couple those up nice. Because the one thing that I do miss and I don't miss from World of Warcraft was we had a lot of dailies that were right on top of each other, and depended on the presence, depended on whether or not you got your dailies done quickly or you spent most of your time trying to PvP or pass away the guys that were trying to PvP. And that's something I really do miss. I miss World PvP, and there are a lot of people that miss World PvP beyond
your
the
dailies.
the two ass hats that camp the either side heroic
Yeah.
on the Republican
Because that's
Imperial
not
side.
that's not actually world PvP. That's basically because you're not PvPing. All you're doing is knocking them into the NPCs. That's not PvP.
Yeah. And that's because in World of Warcraft, when you were in a PvP zone, everything attacked you guys. It didn't matter.
Doesn't matter,
It
right?
wasn't factional. So if you got attacked, they attacked you. You were still getting attacked by the mobs.
Yep.
So you had to find a way to defeat your attacker,
And the
or yeah, and the mob. And if you killed the guy you attacked, then the mobs
still
flipped to
coming
you.
after you. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they
so
should. They
I would
really
like to
need to
see
make
that.
it like that in the in our heroic zones in the on Ilum, because that's the biggest issue. I mean, you know, they really need to. That'd stop it right there. If it just made it so that the Jedi's would turn around and attack the other Jedi, that'd be perfect, or vice versa. I
Yeah.
mean, that way you wouldn't have that. I would be able to get my fucking daily done. I mean, if I wanted to go attack them, then I would go to their base or find them on the planet rather than go hang out in their heroic zone and be a dick.
Now, for some of us who haven't actually gotten into acquiring some of the campaign gear, we'll now be able to purchase those at the black hole combinations. Oh, at the black hole vendors with black hole combinations. So we'll be able to upgrade our gear, a little at a time, so that we can get campaign equivalent gear as opposed to being stuck in lower tiers because we're either not running nightmare modes or we're not running, the hard mode so that we can unlock those items through getting the full tier sets.
Mm.
Some of the best parts are, with daily comms, you can get Dreadguard relics, and relics, while not a huge part of the game, are definitely an important thing for people who raid uh, to be able to max out their stats and get a decent balance on their stats. Of course, there's a new set of droid armor that'll be available at the daily vendor, and of course, they say more robes have been adjusted so that their backsides are not improperly large when worn. Um,
Oh, so when you have that large, you have the I got it. You don't have the big old
mhm,
booty.
mhm. Let's see, trying to find some of the other stuff. As far as the cartel market goes, um, the cartel market will be accessible through a little button at the top of your screen until you change your design to move it other places. And that's the big thing is we want to be able to get that out of the way for those of us who don't need to see it all the fucking time, or put it somewhere that it's less obvious. I think I'm going to scale mine down quite a bit so that I don't have to see it or have it be so belligerently in my face.
Mm.
Um, and of course, with free to play, the prices have been adjusted twice so far to on the cartel to figure out where everything needs to be. They have not announced any new changes as far as the price of getting the different items. The plus side for those coming into free to play is you're not stuck with the one bar as it previously was on the PTS. You've got two. Two is not a great deal of bars and may behoove you to purchase additional bars, but they're still sticking to the idea that the people who are on a subscriber base not only keep their original set of bars, but they'll also have an option to use up to two more. So as a subscriber, you'll have up to 6 action bars. Now, myself, I run 4, and I can't imagine needing more. But I guess if you wanted to, quick, drop your shortcuts for crafting or some of your extra mounts, you
Yep,
want to have
mounts.
one bar just for all of your mounts.
I would like it. I
Um,
would like it for mounts and like pots and stems. That's what I would use it for.
well, I can see the pots and stems. I've seen that worked into people's rotation on their bars, so that
Really?
with the yeah, because it's just like anything else. If you're popping your cooldowns, one of those stems can be a great way to pop a cooldown.
That's true. I don't carry enough stems to. I don't have enough money to buy that many stems. But yeah, that would be a great idea. But that's what I was going to use it for. I was just going to buy because I've got one, two, three. I have 3 bars, 4 bars. I have 4 bars total. And I would put a fifth bar up there so I could put my stems, med packs, mounts, pets, whatever. Just like the excess stuff, and that way I can move my hut ball onto my bar rather than having it set off to the side. But yeah, I could see that. I don't see 6, but I'd rather have too many than not enough.
Mhm. But it's good to have the extra quick bars for people who don't end up macroing or having keyboards that macro, or if you do have some of those things like you have that little what the hell, that game pad you have.
Yep.
If you're assigning those items, it's nice to have the buttons be able to fall directly in a row with the game pads. So that's good that they're releasing the additional ones. Some of the other cool stuff, of course, is the fact that we'll have. I don't know if it's cool. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Well,
I didn't know.
well, I keep thinking about it. Like for me, I'm going to be paying, so it's going to be nice to see all the all the new items in there. One of the things that I was hoping was coming with free to play, which I've yet to see thrown onto the list, was the new PvP match. That was what I had been looking forward
Oh
for
yeah,
quite
yeah,
a while,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
and
looked really cool.
Unfortunately, it looks like that will be possibly closer to Christmas than we were originally hoping for. Um, but the rebuffed explosive conflict is good. Having the new character. Now, of course, if you go free to play, keep in mind that you may want to have your credit card ready. Not just for the idea of oh okay, I'm cool, I'm just going to go back and resub, but you'll also want to think about it because you're going to be doing a lot more microtransactions. Uh, One of the things that it does do, and I'm glad I play mine in windowed mode because the internet window opens up in my second window. But what happens is when you click the cartel, if you want more coins, you click that link, it opens up their website. So if you're just doofing around waiting for the shield to drop in, I don't know, a PvP match, it would probably be a good idea not to click the buy more now button because you
Yeah,
ran out of shit to grab.
right.
Um, and of course, the other thing is those the queues, which is something I'm sure some people are worried about going into this holiday. The queues for subscribers is still considered going to be prioritized so that we get in before anybody else does. So it's not like a situation where subscribers have to worry about getting locked out or being stuck in the 4 hour queue waiting for them to get in because of the free to play notion.
Right.
Um, Now they fixed a lot of bugs. I'm gonna scroll through and try to catch the ones I can. Miscellaneous bug fixes that they took care of that we shouldn't have to see. Of course, several typos and instances of incorrect text have been corrected in all languages, so they won't be giving the finger to anyone in any language apparently. The Imperial Medical Center in the vicinity of the wrecked Amberia's Fury has now been moved northeast, presumably because of PvP issues with that. Um, Corrected an issue that could prevent players from grouping with one another for instanced content. The shuttle from the Ilum Daily now properly transports players to Section X. Several typos again have been corrected. The dark eyes and light eyes, which was something I was talking about a couple episodes ago, has been fixed so that it doesn't look all bugged out, which you guys can see in my other video. And it says players no longer crash the desktop when previewing vehicles while mounted, but um, I would like to just stop crashing in general.
Yeah, that'd be
Logging
nice.
out.
That'd be nice.
Log- logging out before choosing a quick travel destination no longer allows the player to quick travel without the cooldown, which was an interesting bug in the PTS. Vehicles currently used use incorrect low resolution textures in the preview window, so that's been fixed as well.
Mm.
One of the things that I was noticing for the little bit that I did play, because as you can see in the videos, I didn't get on there and do anything real important because there was no one to do it with. But it looks like we should see ranked PvP possibly finally drop in, although they're not saying exactly. Um, what are you doing, boy?
Am I clicking something again? Shit. Didn't know it
Yes.
was making that much noise. Goddamn microphone. Next time I'm buying a cheap microphone, these damn expensive
Oh,
microphones.
shit. But some of the other things, of course. Whoa, he totally muted his shit. That creeps me out. It's so quiet. Um, what the hell did you? Now what are you doing? Keep hearing squeaky noises. Oh, you're mute on the mic. Oh, inline mute. Oh, screwing with my head, dude. Stop that shit. Like, did he disconnect? Oh, what's going on? Trying to pull up the
Yes.
extra map,
Yes. And
and I'm not getting what I wanted. Um,
that's a problem. That sounds personal.
fuck you, dude. Um, but with the new dailies, we'll have a decent amount of new content as far as new daily missions, new area missions, new way to bring in cash. I
Ooh.
would suggest the first couple of days or the first day of Section X that everyone try to avoid that zone. The primary reasoning being because if you avoid that zone, you'll be able to get your dailies done on every other planet a lot faster.
That's a good
And
idea, actually. And then go back to Section X when you need to. I might go over there just to see what it's like.
yeah, well, I'm not saying don't go over there at all, but
Got to get your HK.
well, I want to get my HK, but the problem is that we're going to see the same issue that, well, assuming they haven't adjusted the respawn rate as they previously have,
Yeah,
um, we'll see an issue with getting shit killed. People will be tagging mobs. So
bots or whatever, right?
if you do decide to go to Section X on day fucking one, make sure that you take a group of buddies,
Right.
three
Bring
other
yourself
people, and
bring
tag shit at random.
bring yourself a war party, because otherwise,
Yeah, definitely want to bring some friends. Now some of the HK stuff that that you have to do, um, as we said previously, is you're going to have to run the hard mode, False Emperor. You're going to have to either run Foundry or um, the Maelstrom Prison
yeah, because you got to
to get
collect
your
something.
additional HK
Yeah, you
parts.
got to collect something off of HK after you kill him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just so happens that those items drop off of other there are certain items, and there is a full list. I want to say it was on Darth Hater's site. I'm pretty sure SWOTOR Strategies has one too. That's how I actually came across some of it. It's just interesting because you have to pick up a total of 7 pieces,
Hmm.
and each one actually has a partial codex entry. Um, I'm trying to open up
You
all
got
the
the
fun stuff.
head, the body, both arms, both legs. What's the seventh part?
I'm trying to pull it up here. There's apparently something called a prototype burst scanner that you'll need.
Prototype birth
It's
scanner.
yeah, it's what you'll use to scan for HK parts.
Scanner. Oh, scanner.
Yeah.
I thought you said Skinner. I'm
Um,
like, why would I need Nobody put skin on him.
yeah, because you're basically looking for parts to unearth parts of HK.
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
you're looking. There's an item you have to get to first scan for parts, and then there's another one that you have to get to excavate the parts. Because in the future, Lanyard,
They're
in
gonna
the
have
retro
excavation.
future,
Are we
you
getting
have to.
archaeology? Woohoo!
We already have archaeology. We just don't have it as WoW had it. God, that was annoying.
Click.
But you've got to unbury
Click.
the arms. What's the other thing?
Legs, arms, body,
yeah,
head.
yeah. And then of course there's the HK schematics as well. So there's a lot of
Maybe
parts you'll
put it
be
together.
scouring the world for, which will definitely lend itself to both group videos. If I can get the live feed shit working, we might do a live feed for
Oh,
that,
that'd
which
be
would be
fun.
really fun.
That'd be.
Um,
Here it is, our 16-hour live feed. Are we there
well,
yet?
oh, dude, that actually wouldn't be too shad.
Oh, that would.
My nephew was watching a dude who did a 72-hour live stream for Sandy victims. He was raising money for Sandy.
Okay, that's different.
Um,
We're not raising money for anybody, including ourselves.
well, it'd be fun. It's fun for those people who didn't want to get back in the game to see how they had to get all their shit together.
Yeah.
But no, some of the items um, that are going to be, it looks like new ship tier items are a blaster condenser. There's the deflection amplifier, new deflector shield, durasteel armor, and laser cannons. Um,
I'd like to be able to turn the autopilot off.
and for the looks of things, dude, we're getting something like 20 new space missions.
Oh,
So,
goody.
well, the hope, bro, is that
Now,
the new space
now,
missions are
now this new
now
space,
without rails.
now this new space mission is more meteors.
I don't need more meteors. And it looks like they're introducing several new mounts that are probably going to be mostly through the boxes. The Diplomat's Meditation Hover Chair, the Ambassador's Meditation Hover Chair, the Avalanche Heavy Tank. Did you hear about that?
Heavy tank.
Heavy Tank.
We get to
So
drive a
basically,
tank. Can we
sort
shoot
of,
with stuff?
sort of.
I want to shoot
Uh,
stuff with my mount.
So, during I think it's Denova, there's the one tank fight.
Right, the two tanks.
Basically, what it looks like is you're riding around in a, I'll say 1/8 scale version of the tanks from Explosive
It's
Conflict.
a light tank, mini tank. Yeah, but
Right.
if you can't shoot stuff with it, what is the point? I want to be able to run through, like, go down Alderaan. There's a mob as I go by. That would be awesome.
I don't know. That would make it a little. I don't know. That would make it interesting, but it would
PvP
also
would be
make
a
killing shit a lot
blast.
easier.
Oh, you imagine
Oh,
PvP on speeders with bullets? Ah.
well. Though this may not constitute news, man. Could you imagine if something like the Avalanche heavy tank was a precursor to what they're working on for mechanized battle?
Oh, you mean making
Because
again?
you remember when we were loading, when we started into when we were in World of Warcraft, as they got closer to launching
Yeah.
in-game PvP vehicles, they were putting them into the
Regular quests.
the regular quest lines. They were putting them
Uh,
into the dungeons, and then they implemented that War Song or Winter's Grasp, where we
yeah.
got to drive siege engines and
The
tanks.
best PvP battleground ever created.
Arguably,
Ah,
there was
no,
another
that was
one.
my favorite. That was all. Oh, it was so fun.
There was another one that was more of a conquest island where it was actually a siege.
I didn't.
You were taking over the island and trying to get to the back of it, similar to Winter's Grass.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying is some of these things. These are tests to see if people like them enough to actually utilize them on a regular basis. If people get into that, there might be some of that
Still,
as
I still
some.
want the little two-legged walkers. And the AT-ATs. That would be just so cool.
Well, they are supposed to be working for the re-envisioning of Ilum as well,
Yep.
for the PvP area, which is due out in
All
January.
they gotta do is hire us.
We've got all the ideas. You just
We
got to figure out how to
no, we
program.
know how to save this game. They just won't. They just won't hire us. We don't need to know how to program. That's what the low scums are for. We just need to get paid high money for the ideas.
Yeah, we're idea kind of
We
guy.
just show up at the brainstorming mission with our whiteboard and our ink pen, and we go, "This is what we're looking at." All right,
We draw stick figures. You guys decided to make
you
it
guys
cool.
work on it. That's right. That's right.
But there's also, for the vanity whores, and I say that consistently because my wife was a mini pet, a non-combat pet freak.
Mm.
I have been known to divulge into that. You as well. It looks like they've put almost 30 new pets in the game. Sub-Zero mini probes, toxic. This one sounds like something that my nephew had
Toxic
in the other
Avenger.
games. Toxic Environment Mini Probe. I hope it just oozes goo. That would be kind of cool.
Drips as it's flying by.
A lunar wriggler, the low atmosphere probe, which we've seen in my videos, the lizard bats, which we've seen in my videos. But then there's the Arctic Menka lynx, which is basically a small version of of those cats
Yeah.
that completely trashed us in EC last week.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the monkey lizard that's going to be available at through the boxes.
Where's my tauntaun mount?
No tauntaun yet. No tauntaun for you.
No tauntaun for me.
But there's a lot of cool riding mounts, and I'm really interested to see. With the advent of additional space missions, I might actually go out and do some space missions just to see if they've changed it all.
No, they're gonna be the same ones, just harder.
You think? I hope not.
That's what they did with the current ones. You have 5 missions, and then the other 5 are just harder.
Revamps of the old ones. Now, in addition to all the other fantastical news, I told you guys about Annihilation at the beginning of the show. Also found another one that's on its way out. In the event you guys are looking for something post episode 6 in the movie series, Scoundrels Star Wars is one of the newer books on its way out. It's apparently it says Han Solo should be basking in the moment of glory. After all, the cocky smuggler and captain of the Millennium Falcon just played a key role in the daring raid to destroy the Death Star and landed the first serious blow to the Empire in its war against the Rebel Alliance. But after losing losing the reward his heroics earned him, Han has got nothing to celebrate, especially since he's deep in debt to the ruthless crime lord Jabba the Hutt. There's a bounty on Han's head. If he can't get caught up, if he can't cough up the credits, he'll surely pay with his hide. So it looks like an interesting side note. It brings up in our Black Sun Syndicate, which we've seen pretty heavily in this game, and it's by Timothy Zahn. and it looks like he's got several other books to his credit.
Problem with that
Looks
episode.
like it's more episode 4 to 5, doesn't it?
You said it was post 6.
It sounded like 6, but then
Okay, I thought it was after 6 because I was like, the problem with that would be that Jabba died in 6. So,
well, maybe Jabba didn't really die. He was just
well,
choked
no, his
out.
ship blew apart.
But he's a big hut, man. They survived that toxic environment, and he's got thick skin. He'll be okay.
He's a slug. He fell into the big desert thing.
Yeah, well, he fell into the Narlac, and then he got
1,000 years
sucked.
later, he got pooped out. Where does that thing poop anyway?
On the other side of the
It
planet.
just yeah.
That's why you only see the desert
Go
side.
to
The other side's covered in
go to the
shit.
other side of Tatooine, and you got this thing going. What is that? I don't.
But I was checking into this book, and it sounds pretty cool because it brings back one of my favorite characters, which is Chewbacca. And though I could have, I could have sworn Lando got killed. Apparently not. Lando's going to be in this book too.
No,
So
Lando's yeah.
It's 15 hours of a great audiobook. So that one's on its way out and available on available for pre-order on audible.com. audibletrials.com/SithTalk. But those are, those two books are definitely something that'll keep you enthralled while you're playing the new content if you play like I do with the sound off. Inevitably, I'll play the first week with the sound on until I get all the dailies and the storyline for HK done, and then it's back to clicky quietness because I just cannot deal with it. Some of the things that I was talking to Joe with, Joe came back for a quick snippet. Came in and talked to us, and like I said, he had family members that were involved whereabouts unknown at the point of the superstorm Sandy coming through, and he found out that they were safe, and we're grateful for that. But Joe's getting ready to go on his holiday leave, so he'll be able to both get in the game with us a little bit more often and be able to get his show updates. But one of the things he ran across, and I wish he was supposed to give me the links to all this shit, and he forgot to. He was telling me that there was a lot of interesting stuff that they were working on as far as new in-game writing items. There was some great new PvP items that were coming up. It was basically from data mining. And I wish to God I knew what the fuck these guys did to data mine. I can't read anything. As soon as I try to open everything up, it looks like complete BS to me. I can't make heads or tails of it. But there were some great surveys as far as like what you would like to see in the game, what would make the game more interesting to you, and a lot of it was new crystals. There were supposed to be some new crystals. Oh look, Darth Vader just dropped his. Hey, guess what? We're having maintenance alert. They're definitely doing the maintenance this Thursday, according to this, so that we can get the free-to-play patch in. One of the things they did do is they apparently are rebuffing the amount of Cartel coins that they're going to be giving to subscribers. They're giving people a window. If you cut out your account in the last couple of months, if you want to re-up and renew your, resubscribe, you'll actually be granted all the Cartel coins as if you had been there the whole time, which to me seems like a bold move, and I hope that it encourages other people to resubscribe. If that doesn't, the amount of restriction on free-to-play probably will. Not to mention the fact that, let's face it, for $30 you'll get a bunch of free coin and be able to redeem more boxes, which is what I'm looking forward to be honest. I want as many boxes as I can possibly get at this point. Sorry, had to take a breath. But it looks interesting. I don't know, man. I want free to play to come out because I want to see how they execute it, whether or not it draws in as many people as they're hoping for. There's going to be some new item drops. If I remember correctly, they said they were going to be adding more black hole coins to the various bosses on hard modes when this patch drops.
That would make sense because they're upgrading the gear and stuff, so it'd be easier for the lower levels to get the used to be better gear.
The one thing that kind of got to me though was that they were introducing Nightmare mode to drop Dread gear in Denova but originally they said that they were,
Only
what
going to
was it?
drop that in TBF, right?
Right, TFB hard mode,
TFB.
and they haven't done a nightmare for Terra from
No,
Beyond.
they're
So, or
modifying their stuff. They can do that.
yeah.
You know what I found interesting? We were running when I ran that hard mode Emperor, false Emperor.
Right.
You know the two robots that you got to kill.
Mhm.
You know, you kill one and then the other one goes. Okay. Um, we actually had a legacy item drop, an inheritance
Mhm.
item drop on one of those, and we both, all of us stopped and we're like, "What the hell?" You know, because one, the beam that comes out, the loot beam, looks really
Mhm.
cool. It's purple with a gold center to it. It really looks good. But no, we are like, "Whoa, we've never seen this shit drop ever," and that was kind of cool. I didn't win it, but it was pretty interesting. I mean, that's beyond rare. That's like it's like excessively rare that those things drop apparently, but they need to make those drop a little more often.
I actually had one drop. I think when me and Kiwi were running on the Republic side
Really,
the other day, which was really cool. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was nice to see him
it would be
drop.
nice to see them
Um,
drop a little more often. Yeah, I mean, it gives us the I mean, of course, granted they don't level with your character, but still, it would be nice to have those drop a little more often.
yeah, and it was funny too because we kind of reacted almost a little too slow.
Yeah, everybody went like,
Um,
"What?"
yeah, because it's the initial shock of seeing it and then being able to do it.
Yeah, and
But,
one of the guys was like, "Shit, I hit greed, damn it!" Everybody else hit need, and so he was like, "I didn't even realize it was what it was," and and he's like, "Can we re-roll, please? Can we re-roll?" And we're like, "All right, fuck it, we'll re-roll," So we just hit slash roll, and he didn't win it anyway, but. I think, and then the guy that did win it on the re-roll, he's like, "Don't worry about it, man. Fuck it, just keep it." But we gave the guy the opportunity to roll again for it. So, and I think his re-roll was like a 4, so he didn't get it. But
uh, he was damned from day one,
yeah, yeah.
huh? But yeah, should I go through and the one map that I was looking forward to, it was called the Ancient Hypergate, and the Ancient Hypergate was supposed to tie into what we were doing in TFB
hmm
with this ultimate weapon, and unfortunately, it still doesn't look like we're gonna get it.
They're gonna release 1.5 a little bit at a time, man. They're gonna give the free-to-play stuff first, and then they're just gonna, then they'll start putting in, the PvP zone. Then later on down the road, it'll be the new nightmare mode for TFB, and then it'll be, that's if they do it that way, I can understand that. I mean, you shove it all out at one time, people will knock it all out and be bored before Christmas. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, that's just how they're gonna have to do it. If they're not gonna, if they're not gonna put any effort into the game, then they might as well dribble out whatever they do have, a little at a time.
Well, I mean, they're saying every 6 weeks, and if they're gonna do it to where like we're seeing as of late, is that the content patches are a little are smaller in scope or portions of a patch. Like Kevin's original eons ago rant was that 1.2 was basically 1.0 doled out to us 6 months later. And normally when well, from what and you can confirm or deny this one, what we're used to seeing with patches is between 1.0 and 2.0. There's normally a year span altogether, right?
Yeah, usually about that.
And each patch, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, it's succession. It's building up to that next huge content update, and it's little this and
hmm
that. But what they're giving us is they're giving us the patches a little bit slower, but then they're giving us larger content. It's kind of weird. It's exactly
Yeah,
the opposite of what I'm used to,
yeah,
and I think that might throw a lot of people off. I mean, you get into a game and you're used to the idea of, oh man, this next patch is going to be bitching. We get new gear, a new op, new war zone, new this,
yeah,
and in these we're seeing, okay, well, here's a new war zone.
yep,
Here's a new race. Here's some cool gear.
yep.
Um, and that's how it seems to have doled out each time we've gotten one. And I think that's a bit on the frustrating or even confusing side. I know it is for me, uh, being that I'm from the universe that I am.
Yeah. Well, that's like it's like okay, so if 1.5 is this huge thing, And then 1.6 will be small, 1.7 will be small, 1.8 will be small, 9 will be small. 10 or 2.0 should be massive, right? You'd think. So who knows?
Yeah. So and we'll hope that that's the case. I mean, I'm looking forward to a bug filled Thursday afternoon, trying to figure out what everything has. Hoping that I have enough time this between now and then to be able to take care of what I need to and be able to get in game without too much downtime. I look forward to 1.5 coming out. Really, really wondering what I'm going to do to get that squared away, because my biggest problem is 1.5 is very important to me for the fact that I want to get in and I want to get my HK. I want to see the new daily zone, um, and I want to be able to ride around on some of the new mounts.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I was hoping for is that they would increase the duration or make it a socketable item so that when you wanted the red eye glow, you just popped it in and it stayed that way.
Yeah.
That was a cosmetic thing that you could apply permanently. Um, and
It's just an emote, right?
it effectively ends up being an emote, yeah.
Useless thing.
But it will be interesting to see what mounts I get. I'm hoping that I can sell some of the crap to my vendors that I don't want. I am a little concerned. The cooldown that they had when we initially did when I went into the patch was 2 to 3 days on the items. So when you look at returning them, I didn't quite understand that, because you couldn't. Once you opened a box, it was yours,
Right.
or you could return the box and get your credits. But once the items are in your inventory, they're held there for a while. Now, the hold is supposed to keep it in your inventory so you don't lose the ability to use it in the event of like a free-to-player who wants to be able to sell gear back, because they're not going to be buy the license to wear the orange gear or the purple gear that drops. Whereas I want to be able to sell this crap straight off the bat if I've got duplicates.
Right.
Because inevitably you're going to see more people getting Republic and Imperial flags than you will anything else. And some of the consumable buffs,
Yeah.
like for experience in that, I don't. Well, those the consumables don't have a cooldown, but everything else does. So all of the pets, if you get the same of 2 or 3 pets, you're not going to want to keep getting that pet or keep using that pet.
Right.
And that's what worries me right now, is what they're going to do with that, because they never addressed my ticket, so I don't even know if they noticed. And you sound wasted, dude.
It's weird.
But,
weird weekend. I've had 3 days off, so I've been screwing my sleep schedule up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as we have. I'm hoping that this week comes out really well. I look forward to seeing more people in the game, or at least seeing some old faces show up just for a couple of days of fun at the very least. Right now we're working our way up to 1.5. We've got 2 more days. By the time this show posts, we'll have a day and a half at best. Tomorrow night at midnight, it will, the servers will go down, or, depending on your time zone, of course, the servers will go down at midnight. And when we come up again, we'll have the newest of the new. I look forward to seeing how it gets rolled out. I look forward to taking on some of this shit in the gear that I have on my well-geared characters, as opposed to what they have now.
I'm looking for that top.
Yes.
Was that only on Republic side, or was that both sides?
It came out of the box, so my guess it's a luck of the draw deal.
Oh.
But there are some really great items. I wish I could have gotten more of them unlocked to show you guys in our original videos. And I'm going to take this time, since I'm petering out of news, and I apologize.
That's all right. We've been going for a good amount of time.
But next week, guys, Lanyard and I both have a lot of stuff with work and our families going on. So we are actually going to take the week off. Hopefully get some good video for you, and try to figure out what's going on with Lanyard. Maybe we can get some better vid cap or something that we're able to keep going.
Then we'll be back for a week, and then we'll have another week off, because it'll be Christmas right after that.
No, it's not. It's Christmas. The fuck?
Okay, 2 episodes, then Christmas.
But maybe if Lanyard doesn't have too much scheduled, and I'm doing stuff with my dad this Thanksgiving, hopefully he doesn't want me to do anything for Christmas, because I kind of just want to sit around in my fat shorts and eat ham off the stick.
I've got 2 Thanksgiving dinners coming up. I got one on Thursday, the Thanksgiving Day, and then I have one on that Saturday, and then Christmas. I'm hoping to go to my parents up in Spokane, but I just saw the Facebook this morning. They got like 3 feet of snow. I might.
So assuming they get shoveled out by then.
Right. I might have to buy some studs for my truck or buy some chains. I buy a set of studs for one day, but so I can.
But
yeah.
I am hoping to get something up on our Twitch site. I'm going to be playing with a few programs, and what I'd like to do, if I don't have to be at my father's, and I hopefully don't have to be at work that night, the way my work works, it's kind of bizarre. Fucking retail sucks. So if I don't have to be at work on Christmas, I will more than likely try to do something with the live stream and get something either going on Twitch or possibly do it the El Cheapo way through Google through the Google Plus program. And I will post something up on my forum on the Facebook page to let you guys know what we're doing and let you know if I'm going to be live streaming all that day, so that maybe you're home, it's Christmas, you've already eaten, you're fat and happy, as I like to say. Get in game, we can group up, do some ops, do some runs, or just I don't know, run around Fleet trolling the free to players. Or if you are a free to player, come in and let us troll you.
Okay.
But I'd like to, get a kind of a party going on the Fleet. Remember, guys, coming up to Christmas, we will have the Celebration of Life Day available to us as well.
Yay!
So keep that in mind. Maybe SithTalk can have their own little Life Day celebration and
make sure we
stream it to the masses.
Put some trees in the background. Hang some Wookiees from the fireplace.
I was thinking about getting icicle lights and getting that big sheet of star fabric and putting icicle lights behind my shoulders.
There you go.
Illuminate my fat head.
There we go.
But that is it, guys. We're going to wrap it up. I got some more SWOTOR to play. Since Lanier's going to log in, I'm going to get in and play with him.
Yep.
It's great talking to you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll see you in the pit here in between.
Thank you again for joining us here on SithTalk. Lanyard and Dadakar look forward to talking with you next week. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SithTalk or stop by our Facebook page at facebook.com/SithTalk. And of course, our Gmail is SithTalk@gmail.com. This music brought to you by freeplay.com. And remember, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me.